Mom Training Podcast with Diana Ballard.
Hey, it's Diana. I was scared to become a mom. I was self-employed, traveled around the world, and I was afraid I'd lose myself, my ambition, be restricted, and be a hot mess. I started interviewing hundreds of moms to figure out what skill sets and mindsets I needed to keep my future family a priority and have the time, energy, and resources to achieve my own goals and hobbies. Each week we discuss how to run a successful household and enjoy your roles as mom, spouse, housewife, and individual. Come learn how to create the life you want while having a family. I'm glad you're here. My routine has to be as flexible as I was when I was 5 years old. Well, some of us were never that flexible, but we've had to learn to be uber flexible with our routine and schedule, especially with being a mom. So let's chat today about tightening up that routine and go back to some of the basics, because in reality, it's the basics that work. We can get all fancy-nancy on ourselves and try to spice things up, but in reality, the good old basics are what's going to give us the most freedom and cause the least exhaustion. Because have you ever created a plan that had so many steps that you work it for a couple weeks, then you're like, forget it, man, this is ridiculous. Well, learning how to create and refine a routine may feel that way for a bit, especially if it's something we haven't practiced as much as we'd like. So remembering that it's a gradual and continual process we are all working on. We'll touch on one area right now, but if you're wanting a little more help, I invite you to also go back through the podcast episodes and look for other tips on this topic. So going back to one of the basics, let's focus on getting rid of time suckers today. Yeah, you know those sneaky little monsters that pull us in and suck the time right away from us? No, leave me alone. Down, Betsy. You get out of here, you little monster. You know, spanking on your way out. Get out of here. Well, too bad we can't blame it on those little time-sucking monsters, because unfortunately, we're the ones that choose the activities that just suck our time away. Don't tell me that. No. Girl, I know. I know. Sometimes it sucks to be the one that has to be the responsible one, right? Especially for our own actions. Seriously, though, it takes so much discipline to create what we want and be the mothers and housewives we desire. But here we are, talking together right now. And it's because we do want something different. We do want things to flow smoother and to have more time for what we want. We're willing to do something different and step up our game. So let's get at those time suckers. Our focus today is tightening our routine and refining our schedule once again. For we know we will be adjusting and refining that schedule and ever-changing routine all the time. So as our schedule or routine has probably changed since we last chatted about it, let's dig in. What things and activities distract us and keep us from accomplishing what we've planned to do in the first place? Now, we can be extra hard on ourselves sometimes, so before we go all haywire and look at every aspect and find handfuls of different places we need to change, let's bring it into reality. Say we find 5 places that need attention and are time wasters. We might find ourselves frustrated at the end of the week because we're working on so many things. Which, being a mom, I usually can work on 1 to 2 extra things in a normal mom day than keeping everyone alive and fed. Like, one day is deep cleaning day, one day is grocery shopping and food prep, one day is going out fun day with the kids. Catch my drift? So if I try to change too many things at once, I can guarantee someone's going to suffer. And most likely it's going to be my kids or husband from getting overly frustrated at things that aren't working as perfectly as I want them to, right? So let's take the ideas of time suckers that need attention and focus it down to one thing. Pick the top area that needs help, the one that is distracting you the most, and let's work on that. And as we work on that one area, we won't be able to help ourselves as we start to see other little places we can trim time and get better at managing ourselves and the time we have to accomplish things. So if we found that one area is sucking our time, let's think right now, what can I do to lessen these time wasters this week? What kind of plan do I need to put in place to be more protective of my time and not get distracted? And let's create something together right now and keep it simple. Like an example, I'm not going to pick up my phone in the morning so I don't have the social media monster suck 30 to 60 minutes of my time first thing in the morning. Or I'm only going to watch one episode tonight, then turn off the TV. Or the night before, I'm going to put in the thought work and make a list of 5 things I really want to accomplish tomorrow and organize my mind. And then take that list and figure out what order you need to do them in and think of what it may take to accomplish them. And then decide when you're going to get started. Like, after feeding the kids breakfast, I'm going to jump straight into task number 1. Creating that plan and making it specific is what is going to rock our world in creating possibilities and freedom to do whatever our little hearts desire. So take a moment right now. What time sucker will you choose to fight this week? And how are you going to do it? What simple plan have you put in place? With working on our time management and protecting our time, there will eventually come days where you're like, I have so much time right now, I don't even know what to do with myself. Like, no joke, it happens. Like, what a problem, huh? Like, let's create those type of problems, like having too much time on our hands because we've been on top of everything else. Will that be daily? I'll probably pop your bubble right now, but no. Life will still have its busy times and unexpected occurrences, but gosh, girl, time management and protecting that time is so fulfilling. I know you'll see that as you work your plan you just created right now. If you see a benefit, keep going, and in a week or 2, add in another way to protect and better utilize your time. I will add, I'm not saying that you have to be extremely focused and working your tail off every second. There is no problem or shame in having downtime and chilling. I love to chill, and that's one of my major goals of having a routine is chilling. But when we're taking too many breaks or getting distracted by something, it can prevent us from getting what we need to done. And it just creates a nasty cycle of feeling overwhelmed and having too much to do, and then coping however we do again. So let's cut the cycle at the beginning and remove the time suckers now. Doesn't mean you can't sit down and watch a show every once in a while, surf the internet or scroll social media for a bit, talk to a friend for a long time on the phone. No, get your stuff done, girl, and then that chilling time can actually be relaxing and fill your bucket, making you refreshed and ready to tackle the next day. Let your intuition guide you. What do I need to cut back on? It's important to go over our time often and see where laziness and procrastination, distraction, or time suckers have slipped in. For as the routine changes, which is often, we can sometimes forget what's most important or how to protect it. So it's important to look at the time suckers often, because those little monsters seem to slip in sometimes without us even being aware of it. Those little suckers. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because ladies, our peace and joy can be protected, and we have the power to be proactive in creating our environment, and it literally starts in how we use our time and learning how to be more productive and proactive as well. It's important for us to feel good about the work we're doing for our sakes and also our families. It's important for us to eliminate the time wasters so that we can fill our days, weeks, months, and decades with things that actually create memories, move us closer to our long-term goals, and build relationships. I know we can do this, ladies. Let's work this week to tighten up our routine and schedule by creating a plan and cutting those time suckers. Then let's refine it even more the next week and so on. It's worth it. I'm excited to see what you're creating in your family and the beauty that's growing daily in your home. For being a mom is the best job we could ever ask for, so let's become dang good at what we do. Thanks for being a loyal listener, for telling other mamas about this podcast. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you next week on the Mom Training Podcast.
Hit subscribe so you don't miss anything. You can hit me up on social media at Diana Ballard Live or on my website at dianaballard.com. See you next week.